morning.
Morning.
We're off into Coventry today. We was moored at the top, well, not at the top of Atherstone Locks, but just a bit further on, in between there and Manchester Marina. And a lovely night's sleep, nice and peaceful. But today we're off into Coventry to get our mooring for this weekend's festival that we're doing, well, market, floating market. So yeah, really looking forward to this. It's all new waters for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're just on our way to Nuneaton at the moment, and we've been told don't stop at Nuneaton. We need to just go straight through and get it all done.
There's a few unsavoury characters around there, we've been told, isn't there?
Yeah. Now how true it is, I don't know, because we've never done it before. So we're just going off what's been recommended to us, and well, we'll see for ourselves, won't we? Probably about 4.5 hours before we get into Coventry, so we're probably going to get there for about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So a nice time to get in there. We're going to get in there, get moored up, and then see what happens. We've got a bit of shopping to do, so we might go and get that done today if we've got enough time, or we might leave it until tomorrow, see how we feel. Yeah,
see what happens. Yeah. Go with the flow.
You know what these things are like. We have to nip out
because you need to go and pick me some tea up.
You know what happens, things change, plans change. That's the beauty. Right. It's a beautiful countryside though. Beautiful scenery. Nuneaton, and absolutely nothing wrong with Nuneaton, to be honest. It was quite nice. No one messing around, no one on the towpath. In fact, it was very quiet, other than the two boats that we had to pass coming the opposite direction that we happened to meet on blind bends under a bridge. So as is always the way. But yeah, absolutely no problems whatsoever with Nuneaton. So it is early morning, it's weekday, maybe it's different at other times, who knows, but for us it was good. Just coming up shortly on Marston Junction, which is the branch that takes you off up the Ashby Canal, and then not too long after that, probably, I don't know, might be an hour, I don't know, we'll be at Hawkesbury Junction, and that's the start, well, that's the end of the Coventry Canal really, where you would turn to get onto the Oxford Canal. We'll go straight on down into Coventry, which is about another hour from there. So a couple of hours and we should be there now. we're very nearly in Coventry Basin. We haven't got that much further to go, to be honest. Maybe another, I don't know, 15 minutes and then we're there. And it's been a beautiful bit of canal, to be honest. I've heard bad things about this canal, or this little bit of the arm from Hawkesbury down. Again, it's beautiful. It's lovely. There's a bit of, there's the odd thing, we've hit the odd thing in the water going under bridges, but nothing major. We've had no rubbish on the prop, touch wood. So, yeah, all in all, a pleasant journey. Looking forward to Coventry Basin now. Well, good morning. Welcome to Coventry Basin, and as you can see, we're set up and ready to rock and roll. It's about 9:45. The market officially starts at 10 o'clock this morning, so hopefully it's going to be a busy day. It's also the first outing at a market of Loose Brews. As you can see, we've put the more decoration on like we said we was going to do, and sun's a bit bright, I do apologise. We've now got the sign up there and all the ice creams and things, so we're good to go. All we need now is some customers to turn up, and means Lou won't be sat down doing nothing. Lou's nice and busy. Yeah, we've got some vintage cars turned up, some nice ones. I'm going to go and have a look at those shortly. But as you can see, there's a few people here, but it is very quiet. And it is about 1:30 in the afternoon now. So we're hoping it's going to pick up a little bit this afternoon, but at the moment, yeah, it's very, very quiet. We've took some money, and to be honest, Lou's Brews has done well today, hasn't it? We've sold quite a few ice creams, some lollies and things like that, so yeah, that's good. And we've met subscribers. There's been quite a lot of subscribers coming down, haven't there?
Sir,
Yeah. Even Chris and Tracy turned up to see us, didn't they, Lou?
They did.
Yeah, so hi Chris and Tracy.
Hi, Chris and Tracy.
She'll be all embarrassed now, won't she?
She'll be like that.
She'll be all cringing and embarrassed. Sorry Tracy, but we did tell you we'd do it. Well, good morning again. It's now Sunday, and didn't manage to get to film anything yesterday evening. Yesterday was kind of a quiet day for everybody, but we've since found out it was Armed Forces Day, and there was a 2-mile long procession and thousands upon thousands of people supporting that in town. Hopefully today's going to be different. We're just keeping our fingers crossed the weather's going to hold. At the moment it is blue sky, it is really warm, and it is really good. The weather forecast though is for 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, the possibility of thunderstorms and rain, which is not what we want. But some people have got the thunderstorms coming in at about 4 o'clock, so we're just going to have to see what happens, aren't we? Hopefully it's a busier day, certainly enjoyable anyway. Like I said, I couldn't film anything last night. We had a fantastic meal. We all ordered a takeaway in from the fish and chip shop. Me and Lou had a kebab, which we really enjoyed because we've not had one of those for a long time. And then we sat down and had a quiz. Toby was doing the quiz, which was done by Wayne on the beer boat there, Barging Booze. There he is. So that was a really good fun quiz, and we had a good evening. But because there was music playing, I couldn't record anything because I can't use it, otherwise we'd get a copyright strike on YouTube. But yeah, we had a good night. Today, we've got the additional thing. There's some yoga, I think, going on this morning. I think that must be something that's on regular, I don't know. But yeah, so that'll be different for this morning anyway. Fingers crossed for a good day. Well, it's 4:45, it's the end of Sunday, it's the end of the market. We're going to start packing up shortly. It's dead, and to be honest, it's been pretty dead all day. None of us know why it's been dead all day. It didn't really pick up. We had, you know, little busy spells, but nothing major, which is unfortunate. But it's still been a really enjoyable market, to be honest. Lose Brews has done well. You know, it's done really well. It's the first time we've traded Lose Brews at the market, and yeah, it's give us an eye opener. So that's always good. This guy behind me now, that's Nick. He works for Canal and River Trust, and he's in charge of this area. And this building behind me is the old weighing bridge. And apparently this is all part and parcel of when all these warehouses were being used. And it was a fully functioning, you know, transport place really for transporting goods. And he's going to open up the little weighing office and take me inside and show me around and give us a little bit of information about what it's all about. So yeah, something different to do, isn't it? Come on then.
Nick from the Canal and River Trust, and we're here in Coventry in one of the older buildings in the Canal Basin, probably one of the oldest. The other older buildings are the warehouses, which you may have seen on the video earlier. Coventry Canal was finished in 1796, Basin opened in 1796, and it was principally built to bring coal down from Athelston, Nuneaton, North Staffordshire coalfields, North Warwickshire coalfields into Coventry to power industry, and to take finished goods from Coventry back up the canal and out. So the way carriage on the Coventry Canal, this part of the Coventry Canal was charged, was not through using gauging islands and measuring dry inches and things, but it was there was a weighbridge office at the Basin, which is the canal terminus. There were two weighing machines, one on either side, weighing tables. You've seen weighbridges for lorries and trucks. Well, these are like much smaller because they're for a horse and cart. They're cart sized, and they go up to a weight of 10 tonnes. So this one on this side was for goods coming into the Canal Basin and charging for carriage up the canal. The one that used to exist on the other side, which has now gone to create the entrance to the new entrance to the Basin, that was for charging merchants and people for coal that was coming off boats into Coventry. So there were two, and underneath where I'm standing, there's a tunnel under this building. Under these mats and carpets, and it kind of goes in a Y shape like that, and that was used to access the weighing, the mechanisms for the weighing tables, so they could be greased and maintained and kept working. This one is an original one. Scales are made by Avery, who are quite famous, like kitchen scales manufacturers even to this day, in Birmingham, just down the road, the other end of the A45 from here, and it still works. So I've measured my motorbike on it, and my motorbike weighs, well, it didn't even register on the scale because it was too light. But we know it does work because I then sat on the motorbike and the scale moved. so yeah, it's all still functioning, which is quite amazing really, considering it's 1830s bit of equipment. And this is the weighing office. So this was the way of charging people carriage on the Coventry Canal. Subsequently, it was used by British Waterways Board as an office. After that, it was used by the Coventry Canal Society, who were part of the Inland Waterways Association, as a small museum in the late 70s, early 80s. And then it was taken over and used as a storage for parts for a narrowboating business that was based in the Basin. When that closed, at the Canal and River Trust, we discovered that it was one of the few buildings in the Canal Basin that we still owned. So we decided to open it as one of our many welcome centres that we have around the network, and it's a place where people can get information. They can pick up a pump out card, they can find information about Coventry, if they come into the Basin via a boat, they can find out about what's in Coventry, where to go, get directions and that sort of thing. Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you. Welcome to Coventry. We finished trading yesterday and today's Monday. We're out doing a bit of shopping. Some bits and pieces we needed to buy. That's not it. We're doing some more, don't we? But while we're in town, we thought we'd do a bit of sightseeing, because one thing we didn't manage to do last year is come and see some of the sites. Now, I've been to Coventry once before, many years ago.
When you was a lad.
When I was a lad, when I was a nipper. And I thought, because you've never been, have you?
No.
So we're just out to see some of the sites, because there's a lot of history in Coventry. And it's kind of a bit of an eclectic mix of buildings, isn't it? So we thought we'd show you what's going on. For instance, or for example, right opposite us is a wonderful Tudor timber frame building. I mean, look at these buildings. Absolutely stunning. But there's not many of them, because a lot of these buildings got demolished, obliterated on the 14th of November 1940 in World War II. And the Germans flattened Coventry. So a lot of Coventry has been rebuilt and is quite modern, but just hidden away in and amongst all these modern buildings, you find these little gems of history, don't you? And it's really weird to see all these modern buildings, and then, like I say, you see that, and then if I take you down, you can see like that building down the alleyway there, and we're outside the old cathedral, because obviously there's a new cathedral now, but this cathedral got bombed out. So we're going to go in, have a look round, and we're going to go into the new cathedral as well. Yeah. So we'll take you guys and we'll have a look round. I bet once all these columns were, down these sides, and you can just imagine that would have had probably a fantastic timber framed roof.
Yeah.
And all this stained glass window. I bet this would have looked beautiful.
If you look up there, you can still see some of the glass.
Oh yeah, there's still some stained glass in up there, see? Unfortunately, the tower's closed though. We can't climb the tower. the inside of the new
Yes.
Coventry Cathedral, which is there behind us,
We couldn't
which
film
is
much, could we?
literally right there at the side of the bombed out. Yeah, we couldn't film much because it's full of children, as you might have heard, doing lots of musical
Yeah.
things being used. There's hundreds of kids inside, so obviously filming inside we had to be very careful what we were filming, and not as peaceful
No.
as
Oh,
it was
quite noisy.
the first time I ever went in there. It was very, very quiet, peaceful, but it's nice to see it being used and having all them kids in there, so
They was all
yeah.
having fun. And that's
Yeah,
all
they
that
were.
matters.
it was good.
Thank you.